right, so I'm gonna try to be quick with this one because I want to make sure I get it off my mind before they try to erase anything or whatever. Um, the use of light to penetrate the skull and to basically change any type of neuron firing or disable specific neurons or to just like basically change or modify the brain in any sense. You can use light or laser light basically that will be able to penetrate through the skull, and it can change. You can literally use frequencies to change or modify even the structure of the brain or just how information is transferred throughout the brain. Now, as I'm trying to I had to go through a minute where I had to charge my phone, and all day today they've been just firing heavy on my brain today. And basically it's like what they're doing is they're heating up the brain. They're using, I believe the light is being, is sourced from satellites. I don't necessarily think it's drones because I don't know how high up a drone really gotta be for you not to be able to see it, but it can still transmit light, to the ground, So, yeah, I believe it's satellites. Then also for the fact that I know, just from research that, people can actually hack satellites. There's been numerous, reports in the past where hackers had hacked the satellite and was able to transmit like videos or whatever to show on national TV, things of that sort. What in the world? Oh, but so yeah. Then what else? So basically, everybody who's probably done enough research knows that the Department of Defense and the medical industry and the technology industry, like Silicon Valley, so, they all get approached by the Department of Defense to carry out, or to basically see if they can contract some work out to basically weaponize a piece of, technology that they probably made or created that is supposed to heal people. Like, there is proof that you can use, a laser to basically change the functioning of the brain of someone who's depressed. You can use light to basically, shrink the size. You can basically use a laser to shrink the size of a cancer cell or a cancer mass. Or a lot of it has to deal with basically frequency resonance. You can transfer frequencies through light. Now, what they're basically doing is they're conducting these experiments on everyone without their consent. And then the worst part is those who basically are not being attacked, they're what you call the obedient subjects. They're basically being rewarded for not disobeying, the commands of the handlers or so and so. If you decide you want to actually maintain your free will and you want to keep your free will and you're not going to let no one come against your free will, then you'll basically end up like us. You'll basically end up as somebody who is, at the end of the day, you were doing the right thing. No one should ever be telling you no longer have free will. People have died in the past trying to basically fight for the very rights that we have. Why? Because there's been someone trying to come and take their free will as a human being. So now we're in the 21st century and technology has advanced so much. Now we're at the point where I guess they're trying to tell us that we're so far removed from understanding our constitutional rights, our human rights, our, like basically they're trying to tell us that no longer have the need for we no longer have the need for free will. Transhumanist expert Dr. I think his name is Yuval something Harari. I can't remember his full name, but he talks about this in several different conferences, tech conferences, where he's saying like the human being is no longer this mysterious, spiritual, multifaceted creature. Like now we have learned that you can actually hack a human being, and it's like you want to say, okay, that can be cool, because like you can actually help people, like people who are actually, like people who are actually like abusive, people who are actually like psychotic in a sense. That, I mean, like in that sense, it can actually be helpful. But here's the problem. That's way too much power for any person to have, because that means if somebody has a problem with someone and they have access to this tool, they don't even have to let the person know they have a problem with it. They'll just actually start using the technology against them. And I'm just like, I don't care what nobody say. Everybody in New York City could call me a snitch if they want to. But they wouldn't be saying shit they wouldn't be moving the same way if somebody walked up to them and who didn't have a gun and was like, yo, give me your wallet. They'd punch them right in the face, right? They'd punch them right in the face. But because I don't want to be a part of some cyber holocaust, some like eugenics, it's basically like Tuskegee Experiment 3.0. It's like the Cold War radiation experiments 2.0. It's like, and I'm getting chills when I say that, because it's like, it's history repeating all over again, and it's like, I was trying to say this earlier, you can basically tell all of the people who are a part of it. You can literally look at a person and tell if they're a part of it. Why? Because one reason why I know you can look at a person and tell if they're a part of this so-called, secret society, if they look at you as if they're not looking at you, but they're looking at something, like they're looking, one thing I notice is they never necessarily look at you. They always look like they're looking at something over you, either like above you, or like almost as if like you have something written on your face. That's because the world is digitalized. There's digital, like we all think Pokemon Go is cool and stuff, but we don't even really think about how the technology is actually it's multifaceted. It can be used for various things. All of this augmented reality, virtual reality stuff is being used in so many different ways that most of us are completely oblivious to. I mean, hell, I didn't really care much about none of this stuff anyway, until all of a sudden when, somebody decided they wanted to attack me with technology because, I don't know, maybe I just move differently. I mean, that's literally what the guy said. The guy, who basically hacked my nervous system, his whole statement was he wasn't moving properly. And then I realized I didn't know exactly what he meant by he wasn't moving properly. And then it dawned on me. That's because he moves in a way that I would never move. I don't necessarily, I'm not a follower. That's one. Two, I don't engage myself in anything that I don't necessarily want to face the ramifications for. So, I might do some things that may be against law, but there's a lot of definite hard no's I'll pass. I'm not going to go with you over here because I know what happens over there. I'm not going to do this because I don't know what's in this. So there's a lot of things that I'm a hard no at, because I'm not trying to deal with the possible ramifications of what could happen. I'm not going to say nothing about what you're doing, but all I'm saying is leave me out of it. Now, when they all was like, oh, you're not the target, your phone's the target, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, well, whatever the fuck y'all doing, leave me out of it. That way, I'm just being honest. Like, if they would have left me alone, I probably wouldn't know anything. I probably wouldn't be saying anything. If they would have just left me alone, I would have just basically just let it all go. I don't know. My phone is dying, so I don't know if it cut off at some point. But anyway, she look like Katrina. But anyway, God, at least she looked just like Katrina, but lighter. Anyway, yeah, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna let someone take away my free will. I don't care what weapons they have or how many people there are. No one is going to take my free will away from me without me putting up a fight. Because not one of our ancestors was basically giving away their free will without putting up a fight. So, I mean, if I got to die in the process or end up, being radiated so much to the point where I got cancer, where I got tumors all over the body, or I got tumors in the brain and things of that sort, then, they're basically going to try to cover up how I really died or whatever the case may be. Then, hey, I know God is already watching everything. Plus, God is already doing so much in the universe right now. All these transhumans are trying to do is defend themselves against what God is about to do anyway. They think that they could keep spraying all this stuff in the sky to see if they could protect themselves from the sun. The sun is more powerful than anything, than most of the shit in our solar system anyway, if not everything in the solar system. So if the sun decides it wants to send a solar flare that's strong enough to destroy every single electronic device on this planet, it will do that. And there's no amount of technology that will prevent that. And that's pretty much what they're doing. They're basically trying to protect themselves by spraying all these nanobots and everything that's supposed to be absorbing the energy that's coming from the sun every time that there's a solar flare, all the coronal mass ejections and whatnot. So honestly, when I think about it, remember, they're basically doing all of this because, one, they're making money off of it, right? They're making money. Two, they're gaining clout off of it because they're live streaming it. If you could, people, there are people who actually like to see other people getting killed. There are people like, and I'm not even talking about I'm not even talking about movies and TV shows. There are people that actually like to see, like, if you remember the videos of Faces of Death, the video that's supposed to be the series that's supposed to be banned in the United States. Interesting how that's banned in the United States, but yet, there's a whole cloud server somewhere on the internet that's basically broadcasting people being killed, raped, fucking assaulted, digitally sexually assaulted, all kinds of things, right? And there's a population of people that are logging in and they're tuning into this thing and they're enjoying every second that they watch. Now the part that gets me is, now with everything that's going on with this technology, it makes me look at people who are homeless or that we think are like mentally disturbed. It got me looking at them differently now, because now it makes me wonder, maybe this person was actually a product of being targeted. Because I've met some very intelligent homeless people. Not every homeless person is on drugs, not every homeless person is an alcoholic. But, I mean, I'm not going to deny the fact that a good majority are. But at the same time, a lot of people have been ostracized out of society because they did not want to give up their free will. So, basically, I'm going to go ahead and end it soon because my phone is about to die anyway, and I want to at least get this started, uploaded. But, yeah, photobiomodulation is the use of basically a laser light to change the neuron firing or the nodes of within the brain. I don't really know how to explain it, but you can look at a wait, PHOTOBIOMODULATION, photobiomodulation, right? Then you can also look up how satellites can transmit, or in a sense, kind of teleport an image to the ground. You know, you can find military documents. You can find like declassified documents on electromagnetic warfare, and how they're basically using satellites now to not just only detect the electromagnetic field of cars, planes, drones, but actually living creatures, human beings, animals. Like, the satellites are capable of doing such things now. This is how they're basically tracking us. And then everything else is basically just, you throw in the idea of scalar technology, because scalar technology has been around, for ages, but Nikola Tesla was the first one to really bring it to the forefront. But after he died, of course, there was a grab fest to all his notes and everything about scalar technology. And now we're at the point where, we got all these just evil ass people. It's just evil ass people. And then the worst part is, these people got the nerve to actually be like they'll take honestly, genuinely good people and then destroy their life, and then also and then try to force them to do things that they would never do on their own accord. That's the worst part about it. It's like if you were to take, just to throw a character out there, if you were to take Lisa Simpson, right, and then you put her in a situation where she's being attacked, well, she's about to be attacked by this technology, but then they're like, we're not going to hurt you. All you got to do is, I don't know, destroy your saxophone. And then Lisa's like, no, I love my saxophone. Why would I want to destroy? But if you don't destroy your saxophone, we're going to, we're going to destroy your heart muscles. And then she don't necessarily believe it at first. And then all of a sudden, they start focusing this laser right over her heart, and then they start transferring energy into her heart, transferring light energy that basically destroyed the cells of her heart just a little bit, just so she could feel the pain. And then after she feels that pain, she's like, oh no, they're serious. And then now, next thing you know, she actually goes and destroys her saxophone. But she loves her saxophone. So this is my position. I love my free will. I love being able to choose if I want to do something bad or do something good. Because that's what we were all born with. That's what God gave us when we were born into this earth, was free will. Why would I let any other human being on this planet take away my free will? Free will is supposed to be free will, meaning you're free and willing to do whatever you choose, but you will have to pay for the consequences or reap the rewards of your choosing, But I'm not with this whole, mind control. This it's basically new slavery. It's new slavery. It's basically new slavery. Using technology to basically manipulate a person against their free will. Fuck that, and fuck everybody that condones that shit. And I don't care, and I'm paying attention to all the perps that's walking by there. They're like, oh, all right, man, later. I'm paying attention to all the perps that's walking by, because they're all watching and whatnot. And I kid you not, man. Stick to your guns. I promise you, stick to your guns. I believe in God, so I'm like, in the Bible it says, worry not for what they do to your body, for if they kill the body, there's nothing more they can do. And then in the Bible it also says, fear not the one who may threaten to destroy the body. I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the exact words, but it's like, fear not the one who threatens to destroy the body, but only fear the one who can destroy the body and soul in hell. So it's like, whatever you do, stick to your guns. If you know you're doing the right thing, then continue doing the right thing. Don't worry about what's going to happen in the future, because the future is not promised for no one. There are people who are surviving this, being targets for like 5, 10, 20, 30 years. Do not worry about death. Just keep finding all the things that you can do to try to heal yourself, or to reverse, or to block. Do whatever you need to do, but whatever you do, do not sin against yourself. Don't go out and, get a gun and just get so upset that you just want to go out and, shoot people because you don't know who's doing what. This is why I don't necessarily go after people in itself, because going after people in itself, it's too many people. And then the people around you are probably the small pawns. They're the pawns. The ones we would actually have to go after, they're probably working out of like Washington D.C., or they're probably working out of the Senate or Congress. They're probably working out of bunkers and shit from in the tundra or whatever. So it's like, focus on protecting your peace. Focus on mastering your peace. All right. Because truly, that's the one thing that's really going to carry you through: mastering your peace and mastering your health. Learn about Qi. I kid you not. Learn about Qi. Learn about Qigong. Because all these things that are about like energy and learning how to master the energy around your body, you're going to need to learn this. It's not about religion. It's about understanding spiritual energy. All right. On that note, I'm going to end it here. It's hot out here. I think it's like 90-something degrees here in New York City. And I'm hungry. So, all right. Remember, take life one breath, one thought. All right, man. One breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.